Hi, everybody. It's late at night, and I just finished a podcast and setting that up, and I decided, hey, it's been a while since I talked to you folks. So, well, there's a thing I had wanted to do earlier, and I never got around to it. We will, we'll do that now. First, some housekeeping, as they say. If you have been following me anywhere, I hope that you are aware I recently released a book that was being developed mysteriously under the name Pizza Dragon, and it is now available. It is called Structophis now. I'll put a link in the doobly doo so that you can check it out. This is my first Amazon exclusive book that was my decision. The previous book I put out, which was Rogue Derelict, if you're not aware of it. That also is an Amazon exclusive, but that's because it is a Kindle Worlds novel, and they have to be Kindle exclusive. But Structophis is Kindle exclusive because I sort of collaborated on this with an artist, and I will be splitting the income from the book with the artist. And I am not a great accountant, so the fewer income sources I have, the more likely it is I'll be able to keep up with the math and give him his money in a timely manner. The artist, by the way, is named Project Endo, and he drew this picture of the titular pizza dragon, or rather the titular Structophis gastrigne. Her name is Blodgett, and she is named after the Blodgett brand of pizza ovens. Also, this picture was drawn by a Joseph Lalo art favorite, Chandra Free, or Spooky Chan, also of Blodgett, because let's face it, she's the most interesting looking character in the series. I think I have one more that I will be able to share with you in the future for this character, but that's enough for now. Also, if you've been following me at all, I would hope that you are aware the fourth book in the Free Range series, The Calderan Problem, is available for pre-order, and that is available for pre-order everywhere that pre-orders occur, which is to say it's available on Google Play, iBooks, Amazon, Kobo, and Barnes & Noble. And it will be available everywhere that any of my other ebooks are sold as soon as it releases, which is September 20th, except for on iBooks. iBooks have been good friends to me, particularly with the Free Range series. So iBooks and people who purchase via iBooks will be getting it on September 5th, so a couple of days early. They'll also be getting, I believe, an exclusive sneak peek of some of the early chapters. They'll decide when that happens, and maybe it already happened. I'm way up on things, as you can tell. But that's the housekeeping. So now I am going to fetch the spoiler hat, because I have some things I'd like to say about Between and the D'Karon Apprentice. And if you have not read both of those to completion, don't listen to anything I say while I'm wearing the spoiler hat, which looks like this. Yes, so we're going to talk about Between and the D'Karon Apprentice, and why my friend does not like Between. If you have read both of these books, I would hope that you noticed this, but I'm not certain that everyone did, and I'd like to point it out because I was very happy about it, and my friend was very angry about it. Between is the only book I have, to my knowledge, that has an explicit crossover with my other stories. I won't go into all of the crossovers with other stories. There's more than one. But it very specifically and very importantly has a crossover elements with the D'Karon Apprentice. And we're going to go into those now. If you've read the D'Karon Apprentice, you know that there is a scene that takes place at Lane's End. If you've read the Book of Deacon trilogy, and I would hope that you have, if you've read the D'Karon Apprentice, you'll know that Lane's End is the area where the final battle was fought, and it is a big missing hunk of earth with floating rocks that was left behind by the White Wall incident. And in the D'Karon Apprentice, our villain, Curiel, doesn't believe that that exists, so she goes and she actually takes a woman with her when she goes to see what happened there. And when she sees what happens there, she is displeased. And to showcase her displeasure, she decided she was going to push that woman down into the bottomless pit that was created at Lane's End. That woman's name is Kintala. Now let's talk about Between. In Between, we mostly follow the adventures of Philo, Rill, and Trixie, who are fetchers for a place called Shard. But the guy in charge of Shard, the overseer, he would very much like to be in charge of a thing called Heartcore. Heartcore is described as an almost endlessly long strip of land floating in the middle of the abyss, and there is a city on it called New Alamus, and the person in charge of that city is named Kintala. They are the same character. I am here to tell you that Kintala, the hapless woman who's thrown off the edge of Lane's End, wound up in the Between and became the villain there. More to the point, and I think this might be the first time this is being said anywhere on the page or out loud, the city of New Alamus is named after the world that the Book of Deacon takes place in. I've never said it, but the Book of Deacon's setting takes place in a world called Alamus. So there's that. And, in case you didn't put the pieces together, that big giant hunk of land that is missing in Lane's End, that is the endlessly long strip of land that forms Heartcore. So, the two books have explicit crossover, and my friend hates that because in his mind, any story that has any crossover at all with any other story is the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, and that is terrible. I disagree, both that it makes it the Jetsons versus the Flintstones, and that the Jetsons versus the Flintstones. That would be even better. I disagree that it makes it the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, and I further disagree that the Jetsons meet the Flintstones is bad. But that's him. We can talk a little bit more about other crossover elements, or you can talk about them in the spoiler-filled comments below, and I will see if you caught all the things I put in there, and maybe if you caught things I didn't realize I put in there. But that concludes the spoiler portion of the day. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I did a question and answer because no one has asked me any questions. Possibly because I'm not that complicated a person, and I've done something like 15 question and answer videos, so at this point probably they've all been answered. If you have any questions about my writing process, there's actually a very effective way for you to learn about that. I'll put this in the doobly-doo as well. I've been writing a series on my blog called How I Write, and this is not an instruction on how to write. This is exactly how a book goes from in my head to in your hands. And it's riddled with all the mistakes I make, and perhaps filled with all the good advice that I have received in my life. So if you want to know how I write, check that out. And if you want to know anything else, let me know. In the meantime, I guess I'll talk to you later.